Right, hi lads and lasses, and welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. This is this month's edition of A Chuck and a Chat. It's got a little bit of an exclusive, this one. We've got Steve Mc Dowall. He's just gone back home to North Carolina. I put a couple of little videos out on YouTube and on Twitter and Facebook and what have you. A couple of little tasters of while he's been here. This is the second video, so I'm going to have this as this month's Chuck and a Chat. It's an interview with Steve. I always think that it's really nice and really interesting if you'll get somebody who will appear on camera and is as open as and as enthusiastic about darts as Steve is. I just think it's a really good thing. But I think you'll find this interview really interesting and very entertaining. I love talking to Steve. It's a good half an hour long. It's well worth it. Watch it all the way through. It's really interesting because we talk about 501. We talk about how Steve got into darts, which obviously in America is a lot different than it is over here. We talk about cricket. We talk about strategies. We have a little bit of a delve into the Dieter Edman incident that happened a couple of weeks ago, and just the philosophy behind it, and just the way that things are and the way that things ought to be. So we do a little bit of putting the world to rights, and it's just really entertaining. Right, so let's get on with that right now. Right, so you've come over from North Carolina.
I have.
Give us a bit of an idea of like how your darts has progressed. How did you get into darts? What darts have you been playing? Because you were saying earlier on that it's not very prevalent in like your neck of the woods.
No, it's not. So it was, I think, like a lot of, well, I don't know, a lot of people. But I've only been into darts now a little over a year. Until last May, 2021, kind of a pandemically high for us. I had never thrown a dart in my life. I mean, not one dart in my life, right? I mean, didn't know anything about it. And then, I don't know about here, but in the United States, we have these ideas called pods of people who all hang together that know they don't have COVID. So it's like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
And that's the only people you hang out with.
Right.
That's it. Right?
It's called a bubble over here.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Bubble, same thing.
Yeah, same idea. So, well, one of the people in the pod went over to their house, my wife and I, and they had a dartboard. And they said, "Well, you want to throw some darts?" And I went, I have no idea how to throw a dart. I don't know anything about it. It says, well. And so,
Yeah.
And she's got some decent equipment, right? So she hands me a set of darts. Don't know anything about them. And I just start chucking darts, and of course it was horrible. But it didn't take me long to go, this is actually really an interesting fundamental game. My background is physics, right? I was a physics major in college and stuff like that. I wound up with computer science. So physics and computer science, but it would really appeal to me just the aspect of throwing darts, the trajectory, the aerodynamics, the whole thing, and then I realized really quickly that this is a really hard skill game because it looks easy, well, in theory, right? This is before I even saw any professional darts on TV. I didn't even know they had professional darts, right?
Yeah.
And and I was going, okay, there's stuff into this. This is not just easy. And it absolutely reminded me of golf because I played golf for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is very similar to golf, which I love. But also it's just the mental, aspect of the concentration of the game and just being focused, right?
Yeah.
And so then I started like I do for anything I get into. I started researching it and getting into it. Then I found the dart stuff. I saw professionals play darts, and I was going, there we go. See, there's some people who know what they're doing. But I realized that just looking at them and copying them wasn't a good idea.
No.
So, but then I just happened to Google Winston darts, right? And all of a sudden it was a hit for the Winston-Salem Sunday Night Dart League. Okay?
Yeah.
And I went, aha! So I contacted them, and it turned out to be about July, August, and they were just having the end of their summer dart league. I joined the team, started playing, and then I went, okay, I've got to get really better than this because I am bringing my team down. Your first 180 in a match.
Yeah, well, that to be honest with you, is probably one of the pinnacles of your career.
It is.
It's one of those life-affirming moments that you'll never forget. You'll never forget where you were, and you'll never forget who was around you, and you'll never forget what competition you were in.
Exactly.
Especially, like you say, if you do it in a comp and in front of your mates in the pub.
Yep.
That's absolutely fantastic.
It's brilliant. Yeah, no, it's just the best thing. That is my goal of my career to throw 180 in a match.
You will. You will.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the difference in the way that your grouping's coming on today.
It's yes. Yeah. It's early yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I absolutely love the way when I've got somebody for 2, 3 days or 4 days or a week. It's great because I can do it in sections.
Right.
Rather than trying to cram everything into 2 hours.
Right.
And then send you on with a bit of a video for you to carry on your own.
No.
Like yesterday was, it's a bit like a boot camp.
Yep.
Yesterday was where I tore you down.
Yeah.
And yesterday when you went to the hotel, if it was me, I wouldn't be feeling fantastic about what I'd achieved.
Right.
Because it wasn't about that. It was about dismantling your preconceptions.
And I knew that going in, which made it so much better because I was going, well, I'm absolutely worse now than I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I can adjust, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
learned bad habits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What you're doing, you see, is you were adjusting in your own
Of course.
way.
Yeah.
We've done.
Which is why, by the way, when I first stood at the Oki, you're going, where are you standing? Well, because that's my adjustment, because that's what I thought I had to do to make it anything going on.
Yeah, well, what you're doing, you see, is you're moving along the hockey to compensate because your body's in the wrong place.
Exactly. No.
It's, you get loads of people like Steve Bunting, he stands right on one side of the hockey, but that is compensating for one of his weaknesses.
Right.
It's not a strength standing on one side of the hockey, because
no.
if you've got to go from that position, say you stand right on the far right hand side of the hockey, if you block the bed to the right, where are you going?
Go. Well, yeah,
where are you going to go?
Well, then, I mean, I actually saw him do this he was just playing today, right? Or yesterday. And he did that, and he had to go all the way to the other side almost. And now he doesn't know how to throw from that side.
Yeah.
I mean, and he hit like 2 5s after that. Because, I mean, it's like, what are you going to do?
Exactly. What happens, you see, is if you stood over there and you block yourself, the only entry into that bed is from the far left.
Yeah.
And that means the dart barrel is still in the way, and you've got a far smaller target to aim at. Whereas if you're stood in the middle of the hockey and you block it, you've got that far to go over. If your arrow's gone in and it's caught and it's hit the wire or something and it's bent over slightly, you've still got that to compensate, so you can actually go from that side. Whereas he's got rid of one of his options.
Yeah, no.
He's blocked one of his options off.
But he's an abnormality in that anyway. You don't see that a lot. There's a couple people I see that throw from pretty extremes, but not many.
Not many, no. There's not many now. There used to be a long time ago, years and years ago, with like Jockey Wilson and Alan Evans and people like that. I mean, Jockey Wilson stood, I think, pretty much in the centre of the hockey, but Alan Evans was over to one side. Cliff Razarenko used to throw from one side. But again, like I say, what it's doing is you're compensating for your weaknesses. You're not actually throwing from what I would consider to be the correct position. What you're doing is you're basically cheating yourself.
Yeah.
You're cheating the right way. So you're just compensating for a weakness.
Yeah.
And the strength is if you think about it, if you stand right in the centre of the hockey, it's the same distance to the double 6 as it is to the double 11.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, same distance.
Yeah.
Alright, what I tend to do is if I've got 3 in hand, I might move across and throw straight.
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that.
But if you're in a combo, it's just the same as everything. You just turn at the hips, and it's just a tiny little fraction of a turn. To be honest with you, once you've got into it and you've been doing it 6 months or so, you won't even notice that. When you throw the darts, you'll just throw them at the targets that you want to throw them at, and your body will move without you even thinking about it. The way that I liken it to it, and a lot of people, this is the way that I explain it to them. When you get in a car, when you're driving a car, you don't get in the car, look down at the stick, look down at the clutch, put the clutch down, put it into first gear, and then think, right, now I've got to rev it to set off. It's all done naturally, just like breathing.
After about 6 months, it's done naturally.
Yeah.
When you first start driving, it's exactly what you do.
Exactly. And that's what you do when you convert to the Dynamite Dave way.
Right.
Every time you set up at the hockey, you're making sure you're in the right place, but it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
The problem that we have with darts, and what I have with, I'd say probably about 99.9% of my players, is they've been playing for years.
Yeah.
So them bad habits are already, so it's like somebody just being given the keys to a car, not having a clue how to drive, working it out for themselves, and then coming to me and saying, is this how I should really drive? And me going, well, no, not really. This is how you should be doing it, and converting from those bad habits to the correct way of doing it is difficult. It is difficult, but the rewards are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The rewards are staggering when you get it right.
Right.
Absolutely staggering. As you saw James, that video that I've shown you,
Yeah.
the difference in him is an ex-dart artist player that's converted from right hand to left hand, and what's his throw
Which is
like?
unbelievable because
Majestic.
it's just beautiful. I mean, just like Raymond, and Vanderbilt smooth, just smooth as heck.
Yeah.
Like wow.
And that's what we were saying this morning about like when I started playing golf and I chose to play right-handed rather than left-handed. You have no preconceptions.
Yeah.
Whereas when somebody gives you something to do, like they give you an hammer, you automatically swing it with your right hand.
Yeah.
And you smack your thumb 20 times. You end up with a black and blue thumb.
Yep.
And you probably do that if you did it with your left hand. But if you did it with your left hand, you would learn twice as quick to do it properly as you would with your right hand, because you've got your own idea of how it should be done. And 99.9 times out of 100, it's not the right way.
Exactly.
It's just your way. It's not the right way. So yeah, it's great.
And so then I found you on YouTube, and I started looking at it. This is a technique because of the science behind it, the logic, all the engineering behind it. It says, okay, this is something I believe in. Totally makes sense. And then we started, I started watching the videos and then got in contact with you. And then, there's a huge difference between watching things, no matter what you do, even the one-on-ones, between seeing it remotely and then being there and being able to do micro adjustments and say, look, it's, you can't see that or do it, right?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what when we were having the online sessions, because we've had a few online sessions before you came over, and even across a camera, I can't walk round you in 3D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't walk round you.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the things that I've seen, because today, the first day, we stripped you down, didn't we? Stripped you down to nothing. Now we've started building you back up.
Yeah.
We've probably done an hour and a half, maybe, something like that. And the difference now, because I've changed your grip, because the grip's coming.
Yeah.
The way that you were gripping the dart before, it was very weak.
Yeah.
The dart was moving about in your hand as you were taking it from your serving hand. Now you've gone to the Dynamite Dave grip.
Yeah.
I totally thought that you weren't even going to be able to hit the board for the first 10 or 15 minutes, and you were straight in there.
Yeah.
It was good. No, don't forget, I see lots of people.
Yeah.
I see lots of people all the time, and I've got a really good judgment of how people are coming on. They don't see it themselves. Like you only have your experience. You only know how you're progressing. I know how you're progressing compared to other people that I've done that are in similar situations to you, and you're doing really well, really well.
Thank you.
I'm very, very pleased. It takes a while to lock in.
Yes.
But we've probably changed the grip, and you've probably done maybe half an hour after you've got sort of the idea of it, and your grouping's coming on fantastically already.
Yeah.
Instead of the darts being on the outside of the inner circle and all over the place, now they're within 3 or 4 inches of each other.
Yeah.
Which is, if you actually map that, that is probably a 35–40% improvement over the space of half an hour by changing your grip.
Yeah.
Like you said, it feels really awkward and it feels really weird, but it's right. And the thing is when the darts are going in the board, you know that it's right because of the results.
Yeah.
All right, you're not throwing 180s, and the odd people that I get usually on Twitter, what I call Twitter idiots, are the people who turn around and say, I gave the Dynamite Dave throw a go, and it's useless, I can't use it, it's no good. First question is, how many visits did you do? All 3 or 4?
Oh, jeez.
I tried it, and really, are you taking the mickey out of me? That's what you call trying it?
Yeah.
Come back and tell me after a month that it doesn't work.
Right.
Do it for a month, promise me you'll do it for a month and stick to it, and you tell me that you don't see a difference.
Well, and I would also posit the fact that they say they're doing the Dynamite Dave way. But
It's their version of it.
But some version of it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I thought I was doing the Dynamite Dave way, because I didn't know any better. Except I knew in my mind.
No, it wasn't that, Steve. What it is, right, is if you watch anything, any instructional video, being it aerobics or whatever it is, physiotherapy, doesn't matter. You're watching that video, you try and do that, that is your interpretation of what is going on the screen.
Exactly.
Whereas when you come here, I got hold of you when we first come in, I grabbed hold of your shoulders and I turned you into the right positions and I said to you...
You kicked my legs back over to the top.
Yeah, open them legs up a bit.
So what the heck are you doing there?
Yeah, well there you go, and getting everything right underneath your armpits, which you probably at home thought they were underneath your armpits, but they weren't. They weren't, they were too close together. They were more underneath your boobs than your armpits. But yeah, got your legs in the right position, got you to put your arm up and grabbed your shoulders and pulled them out. And as I said to you, right, can you see the board now? It came from absolutely, you couldn't see it at all because your arm was in front of your face. Turn it out, the arm goes away and you can see the board perfectly. And the arm has still got a true straight delivery to the board. And that's what a lot of people can't work out.
No, that's a tough one.
It's a tough one to work out.
That's really a tough one to work out.
Some people get it. I mean, there must be thousands and thousands of people out there that have watched the videos and come to a point where they're happy with what they're doing. Whereas others, like yourself, strive to be better. And as you said about darts, and it's something that I say quite regularly when I'm coaching people. Darts is like chess. Darts is like golf. Darts is like driving a go-kart. You've got the people, it's dead easy to do, anybody can get in it, press the right thing and have a drive around the circuit. The difference comes when you want to be good at it. It's a very, very easy game to play and a very, very difficult game to master.
Absolutely.
And mastering it has been 1,000 times more difficult until 10 years ago when I started this channel. And the more people that watch this channel, the more people are starting to... Everybody sees it on telly, or everybody who comes to see me, loads of people on the channel, even professionals are admitting now that more and more people are throwing in a mechanical way. We were talking yesterday about Dimitri Vandenberg. Look at the way that he throws now. Go back in the archives and look how he threw 5 years ago. Wasn't throwing the way that he is now. And there's a lot of people that are doing the same thing. I'm not getting any credit for it, and I don't want it, I don't care, it doesn't matter to me. That's why, as I've said to you, loads and loads of people have said to me, why haven't you become a professional player? Because everybody's seen the standard that I can play at. We were playing cricket yesterday, I played garbage.
I know. You were throwing 5s and 6s all over the place. Well, he's playing like crap. He's only throwing it off the 6-hitter this time. Oh my God, horrible.
Well, I think the last time I did it with Graham, we did one on, I think it was Dart Connect.
Yes.
And I had a 5.3.
Yeah.
So, and Graham said to me, he said, that's world class.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No,
so, I mean, you know, and I'm not a cricket player.
I mean, look, the only person I could see beating you right now is Danny Baggage, only because, again, U.S. players, look, cricket is our second blood, right? It really is. You know, I think we play more cricket than anybody else in the world, right? And it's part of the standard playoffs, right? I mean, every dart tournament's got cricket. I mean, it's cricket and 501. It's like, you know, and Danny Baggage is probably one of the best cricket players in the world. Right, you know, 501, he's okay. Cricket though, oh my God! I mean, I don't know if you saw, but he played Matthew Egger a few times, right? And just like wiped him. I mean, Matthew Egger had no idea what's going on here.
You know? Well, the thing is that what I love about cricket, again, it's another one of them games. You can play it in the pub and you can have fun with it. But to master it is a totally different story.
Totally different story.
The strategy that's in it. The only problem that I have with the strategy is what they call like ungentlemanly conduct. Because if I'm playing for money, I'm going to wipe the floor with you, whichever way I have to. I don't have any truck with like
pointing.
Yeah, well the thing is years and years ago, doing the finishes that I do and what I teach, which are the double finishes, were classed as cheating. I've actually had that. I've had people F and Jeff at me in the pub and call me a cheat.
Because you threw a double-double?
Yeah.
Like what?
I wanted 66 and I went double 15, double 18 with 2 darts, and this bloke threw his darts on the floor.
Oh, he thought you'd go for a 20 on the 3s or something like stupid like that.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
As I said to you yesterday, double 15 for me, on the inside, 1 next to it, you know where you're going. You don't have to think, right, I've hit that, now I've got to go for a treble 7 or a treble 11 or a treble 3.
Which is really hard to hit.
Exactly. All you do is put 1 dart next to it, and you've got 1 dart for the number, the double that was programmed into your mind in the first place. So it takes all the ambiguity out of it. And if you've got a target that's already in your mind, you're far more likely to hit it than you are if you're...
if you're aiming at the same area...
Exactly, if you're ping-ponging from one thing, like we did yesterday with the 15s, I said to you, 60, go double 15, double 15. And like, first of all, I could see it in your eyes, it's like, what? Single 15, bang, double 15. You've got 2 magic markers, just a little bit on the inside of the wire, And it's only the same theory as what all the pundits say about double one. One over the top and one inside.
Yeah.
All you're doing is doing two inside or two inside and two inside the double and one inside the double.
Yeah.
So you're using the two darts that you've already used as markers. If you've got them nice and tight and you're good, you can deflect off them. Because that's what I do, is I'll move across the hockey and I'll actually throw the dart towards the flights of the two darts that are in. Just ignore the double and throw it at the flights. If you catch that flight, there's a really, really good chance of it deflecting into the double. And if you miss it, it doesn't matter. You're still on double 15, so it's all automatically
You're still there in the same spot next time.
Obviously, it's better with double 10 because you can slow it down after it. But 16's, great one. If you want to go 16's, like 72, 18's. One double 18, miss it on the inside, one next to it, two lovely markers, just drop one and leave over the top. It just makes sense to me. And that's, I think, it's a preconception thing, because the way that darts have been being played since the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s now, it's ingrained. But what I believe that I'm doing is I'm changing things, because, as we said when we were up there, and I said to you, the only way that you can win a leg, a match, any money or anything like that is without a ring. So use it. The more you use it, as I said, some people have 20, 30, 40 darts at a treble 20.
That would be me, by the way. Well,
and then hope, out of all hope, to hit a double with one or two darts.
Exactly.
There's not much chance, is there?
No. Pretty much that. I'd be at 20, 30 darts on the doubles.
And the amount of times where people are like, again, if they want something like 72, not 72, sorry, 62, what they'll do is they'll go for treble 10. Why go treble 10, go double 15? If you miss it, the single 15 is way easier to hit.
Yeah, right there again.
Yeah, you're right there. And the thing is you're not going up to come back down again. You're just going straight where it was. Your mind's already programmed for that double 16.
Yeah.
The likelihood is you're going to get close if not hit it.
Yep.
So that's the way I think about things.
Yeah, no, makes sense. But in cricket, back to cricket, which we started on this, I mean, pointing at people, which in the United States we just call pointing at them, I gain the points because, it's totally valid, but once you're up a couple hundred points, you could maybe lay it off. That's...
If you were playing Danny, then what you've got
there's no such thing as too many points.
What you've got to do is you've got to set out with a strategy. There's one or two ways, and there's a few times Graham will tell you, and this is no exaggeration, I've gone treble 20, treble 19, treble 18. It was something crazy like about a 13 or 14 dart leg in the end.
The only difference is if Danny starts first, you're going to be down 60, 80 points. Because he's going to go treble 20, and then probably go for the 19s. To get 60 points on the board, and then start hitting the
my reply would be the other way. I would go treble 19, treble 19, treble 20.
Right, which is exactly right. I mean,
and you're still a deficit, but you're only an handful of points in deficit rather than being 4 or 5 marks down.
Exactly.
But the thing is, you see, is you've got to have the ability and the confidence to hit those 3 trebles after he's hit 3 for it not to affect you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the hard bit. Is hitting stuff after somebody's hit you really hard. He's hitting your marks.
And not getting just blown away. And
exactly. Take out what he's, and that means that I will have stepped up over him in points. Only by an handful again.
I know,
but once you've leapfrogged and you're in front, and then he's got the opportunity to try and do that back to me.
Right.
And it's just, if you're really good, it's a fantastic.
That's a great game because of the strategy.
It is, and Dart Connect have come out with 2 or 3 different areas.
Yeah, so you noticed that. I haven't still figured out how to find them on the game. I have Dart Connect, and I haven't figured out which option to get the extra cricket games, but...
it's
cricket itself is hard enough for me, to get down.
I think you click the cricket one and then it comes up with 3 symbols, and it's the one on the left hand side. I think it's custom.
Custom. I think so.
You click custom and then it comes up. I think one's marks, so one's like
that one. You
can't score on anything
unless you call it.
And then the other one's call up, which is the one that you're talking about. Call up is the one that.
Well, then there's another one that you played with Graham, I think, or somebody, extended, where they go down all the way to the 12s? Or something like that? 10, all the way down to the 10s.
All the way down to 10. And at the end of the day, the referee's decision's final anyway. I mean, they were moaning about something that Dieter Edmond did a couple of weeks ago, where they said that that wasn't in the double 9, it was in the double 9. At the end of the day, referee's decision's final.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant what the players think.
Right.
The referee is the one who decides, no one else.
Yep. I saw that on YouTube. Yeah.
You can't have it any other way.
No.
You can't have it any other way, because if you can have dart players, football players, or anybody stood there arguing the toss with a referee, then there's no point in him being there.
Referee? Why have a referee if
he can be influenced by one of the players? Then there's no point in him being there.
Yeah.
And he did exactly the right thing. He called game shot. He saw it as game shot. He stood with his nose 18 inches from the board.
Yeah.
So if he didn't see it, then nobody would have seen it.
Yeah, but certainly not somebody from the back.
Yeah, and so he's seen that that's inside the wire.
Yeah.
Dieter Edmond uses 1 millimetre points. Them flex points that, as you know, if you see where the darts win, they judder as they go in.
Oh yeah.
They were flex points, and they're only 1 millimetre wide instead of ours that are about 3 millimetres, I think.
Yeah.
So it's very, very easy for them to be either side of the wire and be virtually impossible to tell which one it is. Dieter Edmond has been an ambassador for our game for a quarter of a century, if not longer.
Yeah.
Why would you question what she said?
Yeah.
If she took that dart out, it was bloody well in.
Well, especially if he calls the game, you take the darts out. Yeah, that's what you do. Right?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've had it in our league where I think it was a double 10 I went for, and it looked like it was in. When I walked up to the board, it wasn't in. So I called the ref. I called the ref in from the side of the board and I said to him, have another look at that. I do not believe that that's in.
Right.
And he just looked at me as if I had two heads.
Whoever does that, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I always say, if you cheat, the only person you're cheating is you.
Absolutely correct. No, that's part of the sportsmanship of the game. And that's one thing I like about darts is that it's really a sportsman's game. I mean, everybody I've ever played with, we're all really good sportsmen. We call things, I mean, again, it reminds me of golf. Again, it's a very, you're calling your own stuff, you're writing your, it's very sportsmanlike. Darts is the same way. People, they're the best people around, I mean, sure, they get excited and frustrated and whatever, but in the end, I don't think I've ever seen anybody cheat or even try to cheat or anything. Cause it's like,
you get genuine mistakes, and you've got people like Ryan Searle, he's got really, really bad eyesight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So if he did that, I wouldn't even think twice about it, because he didn't do it on purpose, he did it because he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yes.
But you will still get the idiots on Twitter who call him a cheat. And that's what they did with Dieter. It was people on Twitter who started that.
Right, who wasn't even
and then Matt Edgar picked it up and did a video of it.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's what he's in the business of doing. He's in the business
he's a media guy.
Yeah, well, what he's doing is a video guy, and he's taking a piece of news and making content out of it, which is perfectly legitimate.
Sure.
So, and what I did like about it was he gave both sides of the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He said it could have possibly been, it couldn't have possibly been. Yeah. He said we've looked at it from the different angles. One makes it look like it's in, one makes it look like it doesn't. At the end, he said the same thing as I did. Dieter's been around for a long time. She's probably one of the best dart players that's ever lived, female dart players that's ever lived. Why does she need to cheat? Well, she's just one of the ambassadors for the game. She's one of the nicest people you could ever meet. She's just a really, really lovely lass.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for her to do that, so I don't believe that she did. And there's just no justification for saying that she did.
Especially for people who weren't there, have nothing to do with it.
It's just provocateurs.
Trolls.
Yeah, the trolls. Yeah, that's what they are. They're just Twitter provocateurs.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's worse for the people who actually believe them.
Yeah.
Like I say, anybody who cheats, you get them on Twitter, you get them on Facebook. They push the 3 darts in the board and take a photograph of it. But at the end of the day, you know in your own heart and your own being that you didn't do that.
Right. Exactly.
And you get a load. Same thing on there's one. It's called, I think it's the Darts Tips and Achievements or something like that on Facebook. And you get the odd ones. Oh, you've just pushed them darts and you've done this. Do it on camera. Do it on video. And I just put whenever I see one of them posts, I just put on it. If whoever's done this has cheated, the only person that they're hurting is the self, no one else. Yeah. So why do you care? Give them a thumbs up, give them a congratulations. If they lay in their bed at night time with their eyes shut, and they know for a fact that they didn't do that, and they've got all that congratulations, and then they're wallowing in that, I said, then that just makes them an empty person.
Exactly.
For me. Means they've got no character, no backbone, and no integrity.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's like I've had it said about me, you edit your videos. Of course I edit my bloody videos.
Jeez, who wants a 3.5 hour long?
Exactly. All the throws that I do are live.
Yeah.
They might not be consecutive throws,
right,
but they're all what I've actually thrown into the board.
Yeah.
I might have chopped and changed them about, because obviously when you're doing a review and what have you, it's like here, you've seen it, doorbell goes. I'm chucking, so I'm doing a video, I'm in the middle of like we're doing here, the doorbell will go. I have to go and answer it. I can't ignore it to carry on throwing so as it proves to some idiot with a keyboard somewhere else in the world that's got no life that I've like had to stop the video and start it again because I've had to answer the front door. But I've had it all. You do this, you do that, and then do the live streams. It 180s on them. It 161 finishes against Charlie Gray and people like that, people who are decent players, and you still get it. You still get it afterwards, and you think to yourself, what on earth do you want me to do?
Yeah, right. Well,
what on earth do you want me to do?
But
at the end of the day, I think what it is I think that's the green-eyed monster. It's jealousy.
It is. Yeah, you can't kowtow to those people. I mean, look, 80% of the people, 90% are great, good people, but you're going to have 10% who are just going to always be the outliers who just don't have a happy life. They just want to make everybody else miserable too. You know.
Well, that's what I always say to them. Why don't you go back and sit on your mum's couch?
Yep, exactly.
Right, so we're going to carry on with the thing of the coaching now.
Yep,
let's
so.
go and do some more.
Alright.
Right, I hope you enjoyed that video. I really think this has been a meaningful edition of A Chuck and a Chat. I hope you found that entertaining as well as informative. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, lads and lasses, if you want any coaching, all the info's down in the description below. All you've got to do is drop me an email. You'll only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, 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 talk to the hockey!